What's up, guys? I'm doing a whole bunch of coaching sessions with people, and even with the clinics that we have, the Voyager camp we had in June, and then the one we have coming up in Hood River, Labor Day weekend. I think obviously the first thing is to make sure you got your equipment dialed, right? I think a lot of people are starting off on the wrong equipment, and I'll get into that. Imagine you're out there on the golf course and you are teeing off with a pitching wedge. It's just not the right club in the bag, unless you got to swing like Jesse on over. He's terrible. But yeah, we've been following the James Casey rule, which is your weight in kilograms. So for us Americans, we got to go on Google and do the whole unit of measure, translation or equation to get that your weight in kilograms plus 20 to 25. So for example, I'm about 180 pounds. What would that be? 80 to 82 kilos. So for me, my ideal weight, or sorry, liters for a board would be 100 to 105. It's nice having those liters because you're gonna get that balance and stability, but then when you're also riding it in the air, you don't feel overgunned. You know, you're not, doesn't feel like you're pumping around like it's just a huge log or a huge bathtub. Another thing is length and width. So we started out on these tiny boards, right? I started out on a 6.0, 20 inches wide, 78 liter board from Dave Kalama, and at the time that felt giant and way too big. And what we've graduated to after several years of downwinding, learning how to pop up, learning how to foil, learning how to foil fast, and then also downwinding in bigger oceans, is we need the length, right? The way that it goes is you want your board to plane and paddle up easily so you can get onto foil. For a beginner, I would look at something in the 8-foot range. Obviously, depending on your size and your skill level. 8.0, 18 inches wide, which seems narrow, but it's stable because you have the length, and then you just gotta plug in that volume calculator. There's multiple axes of stability, especially when you're on a SUP. You got forward and back, and then you also got side to side, and a lot of that's also influenced by, you know, like, yeah, length, width, and then how much liters you have. So for example, if you were to add length, you're taking care of that balance front to back. Because if you're on a really small, tiny board, what you notice is as you're going for bumps or as you're standing up, you're gonna feel the tail sink, or you're gonna feel your nose plunge, right? So we get that length in there to take care of that and give us stability. So all we got to worry about is stability side to side, right? We're not overloading the system, which is why some boards, you know, you see them in 9.0, 9.4, 16 inches wide, something crazy like that, right? But they'll also have the leaders to it, which will give you that float and balance. So as long as you're outnumbering, you know, all the different axes of balance and stability, you're gonna have a good board, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, length is one axis that we take care of, and the other axis we take care of is liters, flotation. So we can compromise with a narrow board. Ideally, you want a narrow board. It just paddles up better, it pops up better, it rides better when you're on foil, it's easier to pump, it's a little bit more responsive, so that's what we're going for. Another thing is what foil size you choose. I think a lot of times everyone's initial maybe instinct is to choose a foil that's very big. You know, you're gonna get lots of lift, it's gonna be easy to pump, it's gonna be easy to glide. But what we've been noticing from a lot of exposure and coaching is it's very difficult when you pop up on foil on a big giant wing to match the speed of the ocean. You're basically out there going really slow in a fast moving ocean, and it's actually way more technical than you think. And you have to weave a lot better, and you have to read the bumps a lot better, and harness energy a lot better, and conserve and slow down. Show me a good foiler. You know, everybody can go fast, obviously not like Edo fast and James fast and Andrew fast and Kailani fast and all the upper echelon, but show me a good foiler when you can slow down and go slow, you know. So we recommend just something comfortable for you, something that you can pop up or you're getting looks and cracks at it, but then you're also able to move with the ocean, match the speed of the ocean, ride the bumps, don't get stuck in the troughs, right? It's going to be easier to connect and glide and just kind of move a lot easier and more efficiently, you know. But yeah, those are the tips we had. It's been on my mind for a little while. Get yourself a good board and make sure that you're riding the appropriate foil. On a board, it's better to be bigger than smaller, and then on a foil, it's not necessarily better to be bigger than smaller. So on your board, size one up. On your foil, maybe size one down.